Okay. Alrighty then.
This will be the show.
The Brad and Squeeze Show.
The Brad and Squeeze Show, where Brad and Squeeze will compete to talk over each other until we are screaming at each other and choking each other. One of us will not survive this show. It will be a dual cage match to the end. And my guess is, if I had to take a guess, generally speaking, the money's going to go on the Jamaican over the Jew.
No, that's not true.
In the cage match.
Now, if you go through history, the guy who talks over anybody more than anybody is Brad. That's right. So it's I already, what's the word? Concede?
Concede. You give up.
I give up before we even start. But this is the Brad and Squeeze Show. My name is David Squeeze Annakie, here with an attorney, Bradford H. Bernstein. This is where I yell and I tell you that we have 12 open lines right now where if you call here live at noon, you will get through to get your immigration questions answered. Later on, you may not, because we've got SMG or SMQ, social media queen, with questions from the internet. So you want to call 1-800, hold it, Brad, 529, hold it, Brad, 5465. That's 1-800-529 5465. Call that number now with your immigration questions, and we'll get to them quickly.
And I did want to let everybody know, Squeeze.
Let everybody know.
The 9 o'clock show is all about immigration.
The 9 o'clock
the 12 o'clock. No, we're not talking over Brad. The 12 o'clock show. We're not talking over Brad. The 12 o'clock show is all about expanded legal issues. So we're going to be joined later on by Megan talking about matrimonial and family law via Skype. And we're also going to be joined by Jacob Hudnut talking about gun possession in New York and New Jersey, and actually throughout the entire United States. So we're going to start with immigration. We have some news here as well. We have a lot to cover. So we have news, we got social media check-in, we got Megan and family law and matrimonial, Jacob Hudnut, guns, we have USA credit repair, and a whole lot more, including Donald Trump is now using eminent domain, Squeeze, to take away people's lands on the border so he can have a fence. You know, the problem with eminent domain is it's a legal issue, and those things can be on appeal forever. Which means that if he has to steal people's land through court orders, this fence will be built in a decade from now. Maybe longer.
It's going to be tied up in court.
It's going to be tied up in court.
So the number once again is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. So we heard from Donald Trump. Brad, can we put a twist on the show?
What's the twist?
Can we grab a call and then you come back to the news?
Let's just finish the news quickly. All right. So I didn't even finish my thought on that.
All right, no problem. Finish your thought.
So 2/3 of the U.S. border is owned privately, Squeeze.
2/3.
2/3 of it. Which means that for him to build an entire fence across Mexico, as they say in improper English, ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
It ain't happening. So that's what's happening with the fence. Also, Squeeze, pays to give Donald Trump the finger. Did you hear about that?
No.
A woman who was riding her motorcycle, riding a bicycle,
right,
and on the streets of Virginia, she was passed by Donald Trump's motorcade, and there's a photograph of her giving Donald Trump the finger as his motorcade came by. The campaign,
I heard about this.
And she was giving. She lost her job as a result of this. Here she is. There she is giving Donald Trump the finger. And she has now lost her job, but then there was a campaign started on GoFundMe, and the campaign was started last week by a man by the name of Rob Mello on behalf of this lady, and her name is Briskman. I don't know what her first name is. After the news came out that she gave, the orange guy the finger and then got canned.
Right.
The campaign's creator, her name is Julie Briskman. The campaign's creator, which is Rob Mello on GoFundMe, said, Julie Briskman is an inspiration to us all. This week we learned that she was fired from her employer for exercising her First Amendment rights. You can show her support by donating here. So she made more tax-free in 1 week by giving Donald Trump the finger that she would have made all year working. So in the end, giving Donald Trump the finger certainly paid off for Julie Briskman. And finally, Squeeze, as Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Where will you be for Thanksgiving?
I will be in Long Island. Where will you be? In Jamaica?
I have to work in Jamaica.
You are going to be working in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Stovetop stuffing.
Right. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a charity event. Not doing,
With
but I will
stovetop
attending.
stuffing?
I'll be attending a charity event.
With stovetop stuffing being served.
Probably.
Okay. Do you know stovetop stuffing is the number one
brand?
Yes. But the stuffing, the brand Stovetop is the brand. The stuffing is one of their products. Is the number one selling product for Thanksgiving in the entire United States of America. Stovetop stuffing. So they are now.
What? Seriously?
It is the number one selling product.
I beg to.
Well, according to this,
no,
it's
I
a top selling product.
No.
Excuse me.
No. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's in the number one. You want to know what's the number one selling?
Turkey.
It's the turkey.
Okay.
How can it be the freaking stuffing?
Well, maybe box something that's.
It's got to be the turkey.
Yeah, because not everyone has stuffing, but everyone has the turkey.
But everyone has a turkey.
So, all right, so we take that back. Maybe not the maybe not the number one selling, but a top selling brand.
A top selling.
Okay, so they have come out, Squeeze. You're a marketing person, right?
I am.
So this is their marketing genius.
Okay,
listening to their marketing.
Let's hear about the geniuses while I use my internet on my phone.
They are designed. All right, they have come out with the Thanksgiving. What you got to look at this, Squeeze. The Thanksgiving dinner pants. Okay. The Thanksgiving dinner pants brought to you by Stovetop Stuffing. Man. They are designed to help people enjoy Thanksgiving without having to worry about the turkey belly. The waistband on the pants is designed to look like a Stovetop Stuffing. The pants are being sold for $19.98, and they are stretch pants. So as you are eating the turkey and the stuffing, the pants are stretching with you, and you can enjoy your dinner with all the bloat as well. Now, I can tell you, for absolutely free, you can also just eat your turkey and your stuffing in your underwear and just go to your drawer. You don't need these stretch pants if you're going to be overeating that much.
Still trying to see how this part made news, but you know.
You can learn, Squeeze.
I'm going
to give a promo.
Why the hell do I want to know about something you wear from Stovetop? We can break.
I'm going to give you the ThanksgivingDinnerPants.com. And finally, your Apple Watch, which you have. Your Apple Watch. Squeeze.
My last ex-girlfriend stole it.
Okay, well, go get another one because now there is a scientific study that says it accurately detects hypertension and sleep apnea. Your Apple Watch.
And I have sleep apnea issues.
Yes. Study demonstrated from the University of California, San Francisco, that the Apple Watch detected abnormal heart rhythms and sleep apnea to a 97% accuracy. And if I can tell you that scientifically, if it at 97%, that would be allowed in court as scientific fact.
So I should go buy myself an Apple Watch.
Yes. Sleep apnea affects an estimated 22 million adults in the United States, with another 80% of cases of moderate.
Can you die from sleep apnea?
Yes, you can. Lots of people have died from sleep apnea. This 80% of cases are moderate or severe obstructive sleep apnea undiagnosed. This serious condition where the person affected can stop breathing in their sleep and lead to death. That is correct.
And that has happened to me.
Yes.
Well, not the death part.
Right. Maybe you died and came back to life. It's possible.
Because I've been told, by the way, you stop breathing.
Yes. I've been told I snore.
Yeah.
I think snoring is part of sleep apnea.
Yeah, it is.
The study was conducted through the Apple Watch. Researchers believe it shows promise for most wearables that incorporate a heart rate sensor, as they basically have all the technology built in.
I'm going to go buy myself an Apple Watch now.
Yeah.
So what's the app that you use?
The Health app.
The Health app.
The Health app on the Apple Watch, and you wear it. And finally, Squeeze, this is news for me.
Yeah.
A gorilla. We're going to get to the calls.
And by the way, apology to the people on hold. I was really trying to get to your calls early,
but I want
so that we could actually run a business here.
I want to get to the news here. This is important news. Gorilla, it has been at the Louisville Zoo, is now on Tinder. He likes to swipe at He's not on Tinder, but likes to swipe at other photos of gorillas and decides swipes left for gorillas he likes and swipes right for gorillas he likes and swipes left for gorillas he doesn't like. And this incredible footage, which you're looking at right now, or you just saw, let's look at the footage again, shows a gorilla gesturing to a man to swipe left as he showed the animal pictures of female apes that he liked and didn't like. And so obviously the gorilla can eventually go on Tinder and find his own dates. And that's all the news for the Brad and Squeeze show. Squeeze, have you ever gone out?
By the way, folks, that's the Brad part of the show.
Have you ever been on Tinder and found a gorilla on there, Squeeze?
No, I've never been on Tinder.
Never.
No.
Ever.
I don't like the whole dating
You don't
app
like the
thing.
whole dating app.
No.
All right, let's go to immigration calls.
Thank you so much. 1-800-529-5465. Once again, we're answering your immigration questions. So everybody out there right now, give us a call if you are out there being chased by the cops, okay? Because we're hearing sirens in the background.
Right now.
If you are on the highway, the byway, the throughway, the parkway, if you're in the barbershops, the
That is
salons.
correct.
Brad, you like to hear about the dollar vans also,
Yes.
and the cabs and
That
all
is
of that.
correct.
If you're in a yellow cab, if you're in an Uber, call us up right now. We're ready, willing, and able to answer your immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. One thing I've found out, and this is my estimate, I think approximately 80% of all Uber drivers and 80% of all yellow cab drivers listen to us.
I believe that too.
Because every time I get in and say, do you listen to the show, the 93.5? Oh, you made a show with that Jew guy and that Jamaican guy?
That's how I'm known.
That's how they look at us.
You want to know how I'm asked every time I get in and I start talking to the guy? He says, "You the Brad from the radio?" Because they hear my voice and they see my name.
When I ask at first, they said, and then after they ask, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Are you that guy?"
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm very famous in Ubers. Most famous guy in Ubers.
Why don't
All right.
we should get some signs and put them up on the Ubers.
Jennifer.
Jennifer, how are you? What's your question for Brad?
Yeah. Oh, hi. Look, I am a citizen already, but at the time that I was doing
What? Wait.
interview
Start
with-
again. I don't understand a word you just said. Say it again. You're coming in gargly.
Yeah, are you on speaker? Are you
Oh, hold on.
All right.
are you in an empty room?
No speaker.
No, I'm not a speaker.
Okay,
I'm
now
on the
you're
cell phone.
better. Okay, talk closer.
Okay.
You're in the bathroom stealing a call.
Yeah,
Well, go
all right,
ahead.
Go ahead.
So I want to do an interview with the officer for the citizenship,
All right.
right?
Yeah, Jennifer,
One
hold on.
second,
I'm going to put you on hold.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
going to
get-
have tech sort out the call.
Yes, and let's
then
go.
come back
let's
to
go
us. All right.
to Jermaine in Long Island.
Jermaine in Long Island, thank you so much for calling. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LawLink. What's up, Jermaine?
Yes, sir. My name is Jermaine. I previously went to renew my passport, but when I get it back, the alien number wasn't stamping it.
Okay. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
So how do I go about of getting the alien number stamped back in it?
Why do you want the alien? Do you have a green card?
Yes, but my green card was expired, and I'm renewing it right now.
Oh, so then you got to go. You're ready to leave right now? You got to go.
No.
What you have to do
He's
is
renewing it now.
You're renewing it right now, and you want to. And what is it that you want to do? You want to travel before you get the new green card?
No. I'm renewing my green card right now. I previously get my passport back out because my passport was expired. So I went in and get my passport, but I got it back now. But it don't got the AA numbers. It don't got the
Of course
alien
not,
number.
because you don't. What do you need it for? You're a
You
green
don't
card
need
holder.
it. Why do you need it? You're a green card holder. Once you get the green card, you don't need to have
you
a stamp in
you wouldn't get
passport.
your passport back with a stamp in it. Let's say you're Jamaican. Jamaican government can't put an American stamp in your passport.
The long and short of it is, if you are a green card holder, as Brad is saying, you don't need
Unless you need to travel and your green
yeah,
card's
unless you need to
expired.
travel now.
Oh, okay. So
No, so just renew your green card, you'll get it. You don't need a stamp in your passport.
All right, Jermaine. Before you go, how did you hear about the radio show?
This is not a radio
I
show.
listen to you every day.
No. I'm talking about the radio part of the show.
How do you know he's radio? How do you know he's not watching on Facebook?
Okay. How did you? Oh, okay. So you listen on the radio or Facebook? Which one?
No, the radio. My dad. My dad introduced me to this program.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I tell you what. Now you need to introduce it to everybody you know. All right.
Yes, sir.
And tell them we're on Facebook at David Squeeze Annakie, Brad H. Bernstein, law offices of Spar and Bernstein, and definitely 93.5. Thank you so much for calling.
And definitely, more importantly, the one you forgot, Squeeze, is
Brad
the
and
Brad and
Squeeze
Squeeze show, which is where we're going to answer all our questions from.
There you go.
The Brad and Squeeze show, that's where we want people to go to ask their questions, because we are going to answer your questions first on the Brad and Squeeze show.
1-800-529-5465. Let's go to another call. Once again, people, call now. 1-800-529-5465. 800-546-5465.
Keisha.
Hello.
Okay, where are you calling from, Keisha?
Kendall, Florida.
Kendall, Florida. That means you're listening to us on Facebook, right?
Yes, I am.
What page?
The law offices of Brad and...
The law offices of Brad, Spar, Bernstein. But you're good enough.
All right,
Yes.
but remember to switch over to Brad and Squeeze in the future, all right?
What's going on?
Okay. My question is, I've been married to a military citizen since 2013. I got the conditional, but I haven't received the other green card, but they gave me a stamp. Is it possible that I can apply for citizenship, or I have to wait until I get the green card?
Well, you can file for your citizenship 2 years, 9 months, 3 days from the time you got your conditional green card. If you do and you haven't had the conditions removed when you go on your citizenship interview, you're going to have 2 interviews, one to remove the conditions and one for your citizenship. But yes, it's possible.
Oh, so it's best to wait until I get the actual card.
Yeah, I would wait until you get the actual card, but if it's taking such an extraordinary amount of time, then I would suggest just do your citizenship at that point.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for calling from Kendall, Florida. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show, where we answer immigration questions and more. Criminal defense, personal injury, family law, tax law. We're going to be speaking with quite a few of these attorneys from time to time here on the Brad and Squeeze Show at the noontime. The number is 1-800-529-5465. Let's go back to 93. Well, let's go back to a call. We don't know where calls are coming from.
Stacy.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon, Stacy. Where are you calling us from today?
Please, I have a question. I did our biometric. My husband filed for me and my son from August 15th.
Right.
And I haven't received my green card. My work permit as yet.
Mm-hmm.
And when I check online, they said for my son I-485,
Right.
they said the case is ready for interview, and they will send out a letter. But when I check my profile, nothing. They only have received documents.
So nobody's looked at your case yet, or maybe you didn't submit all the documents you were supposed to. I don't know. I didn't handle your case, so I don't know. Did you take a biometric?
Yes, I did from September 11th.
All right, so August to September. So you should be getting your work permit shortly if you did everything properly. If you don't get your work permit by the end of the year, that means you didn't do everything properly, and you're going to get a letter back asking for more evidence. I don't know. So I'm not sure what you did. So you got to stick it out another 2 or 3 weeks and see what happens. I would suggest.
And if not, then you come see me.
Come see me.
Okay, then.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. Once again, the number is 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Make that link, make that call. Hello.
Daryl from Manhattan.
Hello?
How are you?
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What happened? I have a green card, right? And I wanna put it for my mom.
You can't petition your mom until you're a citizen.
I don't have the permanent green card.
Daryl.
I don't have that as yet in hand. But I'm supposed to get
Daryl.
Yes.
Until you're a citizen, you can't file for your mom.
Okay, but I could start doing the process, right?
No, you can't.
You can't. You got to become a citizen.
Got to become a citizen first. Become a citizen, then file for your mom.
I was listening to you this morning, and I thought I heard that. Okay.
No.
No problem.
Hold on. Become a citizen. Hold on. Become a citizen, then file for your mom. What you heard was mom who's a resident filing for child.
Right.
But you can't be a son or daughter filing for your mom or dad until you're a citizen. So hold on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's go to Francis in the Bronx. Francis
in the BX.
Hey, I have a question. It's about immigration. Somebody went to interview. It's about to be 1 month now, and haven't had any response from the interview.
Right.
The interview, I believe it went well. There was no much question asked. Mm-hmm. The tax paper was asked, which was, I believe he said.
This was a marriage interview, Francis?
Yes.
Okay, so it's one of 3 things.
Okay.
Either one, you passed the interview, but your security clearances didn't pass yet, and therefore you got to wait at least 120 days from the interview. Okay. 2, the officer is on the fence whether this is a good marriage or not, and is thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And then eventually will either say yes, here's your green card, or no, you need a second Stokes interview, which is where...
No, it's a removal of condition. But
okay, so then this is for the removal of the conditions. It's the same thing.
Okay.
So either one, they believe it's a real marriage, or two, they don't. You won't know for about 120 days.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. Check it out live at 9, live at noon. And we are talking about law amongst other things.
Yes, we're going to go to Kimberly, our social media queen, and then we're going to find Megan. Let's find social media queen first.
Okay, and Megan, who is Megan?
Megan's our family lawyer.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes. Let's go to the SMQ, social media queen, here at the law offices of Spar, Bernstein and the Brad and Squeeze Show. How are you doing, social media specialist, it says on the screen?
Social media specialist, it says?
That's what it says on the screen.
Since when did you become a social media specialist?
Specialist.
Guru, specialist, queen, I am them all.
Yes, and more.
I am also a more.
Also Kim Moore, you got it? Haha. All right, you like the little pun there, Squeeze.
I love me a good last name dad joke.
I want more, Kim.
All right. Kim tells me every day I give her a bad dad joke. I'm like, don't age me that fast, just because I'm a dad.
I love dad jokes. Please understand, I find them hilarious.
All right, what do you got? What do you got for us? Because we got a lot going on here for the show.
Okay. Ule would like to know, was very smart and asked her question on the Brad and Squeeze Show page, so those are getting read first. Ule would like to know, she actually asked us a question yesterday about her niece who had a baby last week, and she wants to add the baby to the filing. Which visa center should she be submitting documents to? The one in Jamaica or the one in the U.S.? The niece is in Jamaica.
The National Visa Center in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Unless the case was already transferred to Jamaica, then it would be the embassy. But most likely, the case is still at the National Visa Center in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Okay. Her interview is already scheduled. Is that going to change anything?
Yes. Then you should be contacting the U.S. Embassy.
Okay.
And she's probably going to need a lawyer. And why are you waiting? Oh, because the baby was just born. Got it. Okay. I was about to yell at her. Why are you waiting until the very end? Because the baby was just born. Duh. Okay.
Last week, the baby was 1 week old. Akeelia, who asked also on the Brad and Squeeze Show official page, Akeelia would like to know, a friend of mine is married to a resident, but they're not living together anymore because he's abusive. Can she still file for her green card?
Yeah, as a victim against a VAWA case, Violence Against Women's Act. You can file for your green card whether you're a spouse of an abused citizen or a spouse of a permanent resident.
Gotcha. Michael Angelo would like to know how long and what's next after you file for your adjustment of status.
You take a biometric for your fingerprint. You pass your biometric, then you get an interview. 9 months.
Amina on Facebook would like to know, my husband is a green card holder. I would like to apply for citizenship. Tell me what documents shall me and my daughter have to submit?
If you're basing it on 5 years, prove that you've been a resident for 5 years, no trip more than 6 months, you know how to read, write, and speak English, show a copy of your green card, your copy of your passport, they haven't been out of the country for 6 months, and file your N-400. If it's based on 3 years of a marriage, then you got to also show the bona fides. Your daughter, who's under 18, doesn't file an N-400. She becomes a derivative citizen once you become a citizen.
I apologize to this next person for absolutely butchering their name. Surendranath.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Squeeze is making dinner reservations for himself tonight. That's what I'm
actually
on what he's doing. Okay.
I am on Facebook because this thing does not work on the computer. Right. So I have to be using my phone.
Oh, okay, I thought you were making dinner reservations for this evening.
No, I'm not.
Okay, good to continue.
Can't afford it.
Yes.
All right. All right.
I'm still waiting on my birthday dinner. Surendranath would like to know, my immigration question is, if I go to the U.S. on my B1, B2 visa and get married to my fiance and return home to my country and go back to the U.S. several times, and after about a year my spouse petitions for me to adjust my status, is that okay? Or are they going to say that I misrepresented myself when I got married?
You've misrepresented yourself because you're traveling on a visitor's visa A to get married, which you're not allowed to do, and then you're traveling back a second time to get a green card, which you're not allowed to do. Double misrepresentation.
Okay. Surendranath, you need legal help. Call us. And lastly, Keisha would like to know, my sister filed papers for my mom who has been sent to Jamaica for 10 years. I'm older now and live in New York. How can I get my stay here?
How old are you? How old is she? Your mom was deported, apparently.
Evidently, right? That's
okay.
With a 10-year bar.
Right.
That seems to be the case.
So she's asking me, my mom's deported, I'm here illegally, how do I get a green card? Make an appointment.
That's how you get a green card.
Yeah.
Okay. We have successfully gone through every single social media rapid fire
Thank you very much, social media queen. We'll hopefully get back to you. Thank you very much. 1-800-529-5465. Let's see if we can find Megan.
Before we find Megan, can we get to the questions that I have?
Oh, I didn't realize.
Do you mind?
But that's why it's called rapid fire. You go back and forth.
No, but I only have 2 questions.
Okay.
All right. Stacey Ann Hodge says, how much are the fees for the removal of conditions?
Geez, you want me to filing fees?
While you're checking that, Arlene, when the NVC returns your application back to the USCIS, what does that mean? That
means that your petition's being returned to be revoked. It is $680 to remove the conditions of your permanent residence.
All right, there you go. That's those are the questions for me right now. We can hopefully find Megan, who is in our family law department.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the misconceptions people have. There she is. Hello. We're going to be talking about the misconceptions that people have about divorce. Megan is one of our matrimonial lawyers here. She's a fantastic lawyer, voted to super lawyer several years in a row already, and she does a wonderful job. And there she is right from her desk at the Spar and Bernstein law firm. Welcome, Megan.
I love the old lawyering look.
Yeah. Wait, I don't hear Megan. Megan, you there?
I can hear her. Hi, Megan.
You hear me?
Oh, now I hear you. Yes. Okay.
Brad had his ears blown out earlier, so he's not here too well.
So you're here today, Megan, who does a fantastic job of divorce law here at Spar and Bernstein, to talk about the misconceptions.
Right.
When you meet, Megan, with a prospective client about a possible divorce, what is the number one most misconception people have about divorce?
Divorce.
We're not hearing her.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
Going in and out.
I think it's the internet connection. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move seats for you because we're having problems. We're gonna come back to Megan in a second. Let's talk about USA Credit in the meantime while we get Megan
so
all situated.
Why not talk about it now?
We talk about it now.
Give me a pound for that.
Because we're going to run out of time. I was going to do it between.
I'll tell you what.
I was going to do it between Megan and Hudnut, but we're going to run out of time.
I believe that your producer Jill did a magnificent job in speaking on credit this morning. In giving us something to talk on credit this morning in reference to immigrants here in the United States of Donald Trump. How do you establish your credit? And very much we spoke about one, if you are, if you just got your papers, your documents, your green card, okay, and you're here, even if you are a student, and you got yourself a social security number, go open up a bank account. All right, that's 1. 2, when you open up that bank account, open up a secured credit card, all right, which simply means that you will now have a card that is secured by monies that you put down, $300, $500, just in case you max it and you don't come back. And that's how you build your credit, because while you're paying that bill, it will be reported to the 3 credit bureaus. Also, we spoke about having a utility bill. We spoke about getting yourself added to a spouse or family member's credit profile. So this way your credit bill's much quicker. Now, after 6 months of having that secured credit card, now you can actually go out and apply for other credit cards or other account, go for a loan or go for, other things. That's how you build your credit. And that's the quick synopsis of it.
Synopsis. Why don't we give the telephone number for USA Credit?
With that said,
let me give
every one of you who have bad credit, meaning you are under 700 or maybe you're above 700, but you have had some late payments,
yes,
some charge-offs, some collections and all of that stuff, you can listen to the number that Brad is about to give, which is the most important piece of what it is that we're saying before we get back to Megan.
Call 1-800-872-7177 right now. 1-800-872-7177. I'm doing the USA Credit commercial. 1-800-872-7177. If you call right now in the next 30 minutes, and you know the question to this answer. The answer is Abraham Lincoln. You got to say what the question is.
Okay.
We're doing a Jeopardy, okay? Abraham Lincoln is the answer.
What is the question?
What is the question? And you know the question, which is a citizenship question.
Yep.
You're going to get free credit repair for the first 30 days, and as long as you follow the protocol of USA Credit Repair, they guarantee that you will have higher credit within 90 days, a money-back guaranteed. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. Call them right now, USA Credit Repair, our goddamn proud sponsors. That's what they told me today. They said not only are they proud, but they're goddamn proud to be our sponsor. That's what they told me today.
1-800-USA 7177. That's 1-800-872-7177. Everyone out there, you want to get a free credit check, a free consultation, you may call them now. But listen, every one of you will get 30 days of free credit repair. Ask for Samoy, ask for Jared, ask for Zenmar. They'll take very good care of you.
All right, let's find Megan back. I think we switched her seat. We put her in the social media room.
Why don't we just switch her internet?
We switched her seat. There she is.
If she actually used her phone internet, it would be better, right?
Well, maybe. So Megan Buckwalter back again, our matrimonial lawyer, in the social media hot seat. Although you're not a social media
have real internet.
You are a guru of matrimonial law, a super lawyer in matrimonial law, and she is here to talk about divorce and divorce generally, but obviously you practice in New York and Connecticut. When you see clients for a divorce case in New York, what is the biggest misconception about divorce?
The biggest misconception every time I meet a client is that they think everything is going to be split 50-50, and that is not the case. This is a separate property state. So when things are purchased, how they're purchased, all of those facts are very relevant. It is not going to just be a 50-50 split.
So let's take the most common example. You're married for several years. You and your spouse own a home. You have a mortgage on the home. A down payment was put on the home. The mortgage is being paid. It's up to date. There's equity in this house. There's a mortgage that's owed. This is very typical of couples who are getting divorced, whether they were married for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. They come to you, whether it's the husband or wife, it really doesn't matter. How do you determine or give advice to say, if you're going to get divorced, this is how the house is going to be split up?
Absolutely. The first thing we ask is when the house was purchased. We have to know whether it was purchased before or after the parties were married. If it was purchased after the parties were married, it's marital property, which means it's subject to being divided between the parties. The other main issues are who paid for the down payment, who's paying for the mortgage, who's living there. Are you getting rental income? Is one spouse living there and maintaining the entire property? Are both spouses there taking care of the property? All of those factors are relevant. In fact, the court has an entire 17-factor list that they can look at, but those are some of the main issues that the court looks at.
So when you
I wanted to add to that.
You want to add? Okay.
Now, what I wanted to add, and this is just off the top of my head, that most men believe that the woman gets everything.
You have
heard that, right?
Yes.
And they believe that the woman gets everything, and also on top of it, he's got to pay alimony for ages.
Yeah, both of those are complete misconceptions. They're not true. Not anymore.
So now
there's no lifetime maintenance.
So now, boy, I hope so.
If only.
But I've seen situations where
somebody I know doesn't believe that, but
I know somebody that pretty much happened to.
Yes, but
I know a few people.
But
I know someone very close to me.
Yes, but so now. Okay, so now there's a lot of factors that go into determining what percentage of the home is owed by what. What is the advice you give to somebody? They come in, they're getting a divorce, they own this house. Obviously, the house is going to be split, whether it's 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. You want to give your client the best opportunity to get the largest chunk of that home. What advice are you giving them when they first come in?
The first thing that I would tell them is to keep a paper trail. It's super important to know who's paying the mortgage. So have your bank statements. If it's something that you're paying for your bank, make sure you have that in order. Also, if you're making any repairs, keep the invoices, keep proof of payment, take pictures of before and after the repairs so we can show that the value of the home was improved. Those are all things I need proof if I go to court so I can fight for you. So having a paper trail, having photos, those are really important.
Here's a question I have for you, Megan, and a family member of mine, okay, got a divorce years ago, and basically the house was awarded, it was a female family member of mine. The house was awarded to the male, the divorced husband. However, the mortgage of the house was in the female name. Now, the husband was not able to actually take over the house because his credit was all screwed up. So he couldn't actually get the house in his name. Now, what happens?
Because you have a mortgage in the wife's name, but the husband gets it awarded in the divorce?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, you handled that case, ages ago. This is what it's saying, So now,
so normally,
you don't know about it because it's one of your attorneys that did it. But, so what does the person now, what happens to that person's credit? Seeing that...
So I wouldn't let that happen. If you, typically speaking, if you can't afford to refinance and take the house in your own name and have the mortgage in your own name, then you're not going to get the house. So, the court usually wants proof now of that you can qualify to refinance.
Really now?
And buy out the other spouse.
Yeah, why would anybody take a house that they can't afford? I am sure those facts that you're telling me are not true. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm sure that's not true. Okay.
I mean, a lot of times it took both incomes to be able to afford the house. And so one option is that the house gets sold, unfortunately. If neither of you can maintain the house and neither of you can buy out the other person, then the court is going to make you sell.
So in other words, the situation should be that the house should be sold, and seeing that the other person can't take over the house where their credit is concerned.
If neither person, if it's usually either the wife buys out the husband buys out the wife. If neither can buy out the other person, the house gets sold. If neither can agree who's going to keep the house, the court will force the sale as well.
How do you value the house?
We have appraisers. So if you can come to an agreement, you don't have to pay, but normally we pay for a private appraiser. The court will appoint an appraiser. And if we agree on it, we use that value. If not, we have a hearing on the reports.
Now, so now you dealt with the house in a divorce. What about spousal support? You just said that spousal support is not for life, although that is one of the misconceptions.
Feels like it sometimes, right?
That people feel that. Tell us about spousal support. How long does it last? How much is somebody paying?
Yep.
And can it ever go that the woman's paying the man? Does that ever happen?
And can it ever be increased?
Or decreased? Spousal support, not child support.
Spousal support, a.k.a. alimony, right?
Yes, but they don't call it alimony anymore. They call it maintenance.
We call it maintenance.
Maintenance.
But alimony,
very interesting
spousal
word.
Support, maintenance. It's all exactly. So lifetime maintenance isn't really a thing anymore. It definitely used to be, but the courts don't award it. Yeah, they actually, nowadays, the way maintenance works, before we get to the term or the duration of the maintenance, the non-moneyed spouse, so the person who's making less income, is usually the party that's entitled to some sort of spousal support award. The amount depends on how much each person is making. And there's a calculator that's on the court's website, and there's a calculator that we use that can sort of give you an estimate. But it depends on how much the person is making. It also depends on other factors in terms of any other finances they might be getting out of the divorce, what child support they're receiving, things of that nature.
Does it matter if the non-moneyed spouse says, well, this is all the money I need to live on, and what the calculator says is not enough for me to live my life?
Tough. If the non-money, you could always ask for more, I guess. But the court at this point, basically, maintenance is not there to keep you unemployed. It's there to sort of get you back on your feet, get you some skill training, give you some time to maybe go get a degree or go do what you need to do to get another job or get a full-time job. There's only limited circumstances in which you're not expected to start working. The judges like to say you have a new reality, and the new reality is that you both have to work.
And how long should maintenance go for? I mean, if I'm getting divorced, do I paying for 10 years, 20 years, 2 years, 2 months, a day?
So it's negotiated, but the court has issued recently an advisory schedule. So it depends on the duration of the marriage. So if your marriage is 0 to 15 years in length, usually it's 15 to 30% of the length of your marriage. So, and then they go up for 15 to 20 year marriages and then 20 plus year marriages.
So the old rule of divide the number of years of marriage in half does not apply anymore.
No.
Does not apply, because that was the old rule from 20 years ago. You were married 14 years, you're paying 7 years alimony. You're married 20 years, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore,
So
and it just recently in 2016 they sort of revamped spousal support.
Right. So once you hit that 16-year mark, that's when the spousal support goes up more years, you would say.
Yep. The ranges are usually 0 to 15 years, 15 to 20, and then 20 plus.
All right, and this is obviously New York State.
So divorce when you're around 15 years.
Yeah, around under 15 years is better than over 15.
Get divorced quick.
Right. So let me ask you a question. What if my spouse, this didn't happen to me, but what if my spouse was cheating on me, and now she's the non-moneyed spouse, I'm the moneyed guy, okay? And I want to get divorced, and I go to court and say, Judge, this woman has had extramarital affairs with at least 6 different men in the last 10 years. She's the most unfaithful person I have ever met. What a scoundrel. And now you're telling me I got to pay her maintenance for the next 4 years? Doesn't the fact that she, quote unquote, screwed everybody but her husband, and now she's screwing me in the end in court, doesn't that come into play at all?
I mean, I love the side of but her husband.
Yes.
But no, it does not. It does not come into play.
So that means you're going to get screwed anyway.
You get the husband gets screwed anyway. I'm just curious.
Yeah, the only time it matters, really, the extramarital affairs, is if you spent marital money on that affair. So maybe you put them up in an apartment, or you hotel rooms and expensive dinners and trips. But otherwise, the why of the divorce doesn't matter. So and I've had someone.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I had someone come in yesterday on the opposite who said, he screwed me over. He's cheating. I'm heartbroken. Don't I get something for that? And no, you don't, unfortunately.
Unless, of course,
emotional damage.
You're spending money on
You're spending money on
affair.
The girlfriend or the boyfriend for the affair. So, for example, you go to the Roach Motel for an hour, to have a quickie, and the Roach Motel charges you $200.
Roach Motel?
The Roach Motel. I'm just making it up. And the Roach Motel, you go to the Ritz-Carlton for $2,000 a night. Is that better, Squeeze?
Thank you.
You go to the Ritz-Carlton for $2,000 a night, and you have your affair there, and the $2,000 is on the credit card bill, and the husband says, I was on this business trip, but it turns out you weren't on the business trip, you were at the Ritz-Carlton doing some business, so to speak. That $2,000 goes, what happens with that $2,000?
So that's an issue, right? So that's spending marital money. That $2,000 he wasn't supposed to be spending. She would get credit for it, and we would somehow negotiate it in either in a lump sum or as part of what we call equitable distribution, which is dividing up the finances in the divorce. But again, that's why paper trail is super important and also can get you in trouble. But credit cards, bank statements, keep track of that.
And you could be the moneyed spouse as a woman. I mean,
absolutely.
You could be the Oprah Winfrey of the marriage.
Right.
I'm assuming Oprah married Stedman. Yeah. Oprah's the wealthier of the two.
Yeah, but Stedman was okay.
Was Stedman okay?
Yeah, it was okay.
They're not married. Yeah. I said assuming they were.
Yeah, assuming. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's pick a different couple.
Stedman is okay though.
All right, we'll use Oprah and Stedman under the assumption they were married. Okay, Oprah would be the one who has to pay Stedman, right? Which is probably why they never got married.
She's no fool. Yeah,
right.
She's no fool. That's why they're not married.
Right.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. Your income matters.
It's the income.
So.
All right. Yeah. Wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Megan Buckwalter right now from the Spar and Bernstein Matrimonial Department. She's a fantastic divorce attorney. She is a super lawyer voted on by her peers. And super lawyers means that your peers say you're within the top 2.5% of all attorneys in the New York State area. And congratulations on that year after year.
Thank you.
And, of course, to reach Megan for any matrimonial situation, to reach Spar and Bernstein for any matrimonial situation, Squeeze will let you know how to do it.
Thank you so much. I wanted to interject so many times to give out the number, but Megan was on a roll.
Yeah.
All right, so once again, folks, the Family Law Department at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, you can reach them at 1-800-529-5465. Bye, Megan. 1-800-529-5465. Call now. You may have a question on divorce. You may have a question on child support, custody, and more. Call 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. You may not need that number now. However, dial it, let it ring for a few seconds, then store the number. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465.
All right.
B.
We have another attorney here from Spar and Bernstein.
We do.
Yes.
All right.
Hopefully in the SMG chair, because we were having technical difficulties from his office as well. Jake Hudnut, one of our criminal defense attorneys.
You know, if you use your own bandwidth on the phone.
I'm sure. All right. We'll talk about it off air. All right. So, Jake, how are you?
Oh, hi.
All right.
Good, thanks.
So, it's no secret, Jake, and Squeeze knows this for a fact.
I do?
Yes, for a fact.
I do.
New York and New Jersey has some of the strictest gun laws in the entire United States. New York is also one of a handful of states that allows cities to have their own gun laws. It's almost impossible to get a license to carry a gun in New York City, which I believe makes one of the reasons why New York City is one of the safest big cities in America. Jake is here to give us a basic rundown on gun laws in New York and New Jersey. You always hear, like the guy from Tennessee, you always hear this story once a year. The guy from Tennessee or the guy from Arkansas where, you can buy, a machine gun, comes to New York and visits the 9/11 memorial, and before he goes into the the scan machine, because they do security before you go into the 9/11 memorial. I see this every year. He goes, oh yeah, I have a gun, but I have a license in Arkansas. Well, it don't work in New York, and the guy gets arrested, right?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, we have cases going right now where lawful travelers are passing through New York and New Jersey with weapons that are lawful out of state, but that is not lawful in these states. And there really is no exception for those folks, particularly in New Jersey, which possession of a weapon is mandatory state prison. No two ways about it. With one exception that I was kind of at the forefront of with a case a few years ago. But really, it's kind of an example of over prosecuting these things. And so when you're charged with a weapon offense, you need an aggressive lawyer because they're prosecuting law-abiding people carrying weapons as in addition to people with criminal intent.
What about you? So what you're saying is
you have a license.
You have a license for a gun, say in Arkansas, and you're driving through New Jersey.
Let's say Connecticut.
Or Connecticut,
yeah.
Right? And you're driving from Connecticut into New Jersey. You have a license gun, you've never used it, you're not a criminal, you get pulled over, cop says, hey, you have a gun in the car? Yeah, I got my license for it right here. Here's my Connecticut license, and you're on the Jersey State Thruway, you're getting arrested and going to jail?
Mandatory?
Yes.
Mandatory.
Presumption that you will serve state prison time. The only way around it right now is by executive order of the governor of New Jersey, who has had his attorney general put out a guideline that we should channel these people into diversion, but they still have to plead guilty to a second-degree offense in New Jersey. If they fail that diversion, they go to state prison for 5 to 10 years. So there's really quite a burden on them to complete that program successfully.
Now, this guy here, Jake Hudnut, I want him to tell. We only have a few minutes, but I wanted him to tell us about this case. He had a recent gun case in New Jersey, okay, where he was able to convince the judge to release his client because it's mandatory jail time and give him probation over the objections of the prosecutor who said this guy has to go to jail. Talk to us. This is the first decision of its kind in New Jersey ever, and congratulations to you, Jacob, on it. And it's quite an accomplishment to be the first to convince a judge to do this in New Jersey over the objections of a prosecutor. Tell us how you did it and tell us a little bit about this case.
Sure. So Jersey is unique in that there's unlawful possession of a weapon. What you described, somebody driving through, that possession is not lawful. There's no permit. But we also, we bifurcate this. There's also unlawful purpose, which means you have a criminal intent. They're two separate charges. They merge for purposes of sentencing, but it's kind of a double punishment, and it's kind of strange for the following reason. I had a case of a young man, no criminal convictions, working at a dealership. Two younger men came on the lot, started hassling the owner of the dealership, a man in his mid-70s. My guy came to the aid of his boss, apparently had a weapon at his side, and the two younger gentlemen called the police, even though they were the aggressors, and he was charged with unlawful possession and unlawful purpose of that weapon, as well as aggravated assault by pointing that weapon, in addition to being charged with some weapon offenses for a bat that was involved. And yeah, the jury basically split the baby and said, we find that he picked up this weapon in self-defense and that his purpose was lawful. But in New Jersey, again, there's no exception to getting around that lack of a concealed carry law. So that was a 5 to 10 year state prison sentence when the jury thought they were doing him a favor. He was remanded to the county jail. But I kind of hit the books and did some research into the legislative intent of New Jersey's strict gun laws, and I was able to make an argument to the judge that his purpose was lawful, but his possession was unlawful, and I applied a unique escape valve, and he was able to get out in 45 days and go on with his life.
That's amazing. In New Jersey, where the jury said he was guilty of possession, even though it was self-defense, which is mandatory 5 to 10 years in jail. Squeeze. Guy is looking at a decade, possibly or more in jail. Jake Hudnut, congratulations to you. First of its kind ever in New Jersey, where he was able to find a loophole. And in this case, it's a loophole that justice was served. Here's a guy who's just defending himself.
How is the back charge of the weapon, though?
How is a back charge as a weapon?
That's a fantastic question, Squeeze. Normal items can be transformed into a weapon once the person who has possession of it has a criminal intent. So while you don't think of a bat or a crowbar necessarily as a weapon, if it's being used, again, with that unlawful purpose, then it transforms it into a weapon.
Very good, Squeeze. Yes,
there you
if Squeeze were to hit me over the head with the Brad and Squeeze cup, it would be a weapon.
Or attempt.
Or attempted. He's doing it right now, but he's doing it with a smile. So, Squeeze, we got a minute to go. That's a fantastic job, Jake. I wish we had more time. Can you give everybody the number to reach Jake?
Well, I want everyone to know that Jake Hudnut is our criminal defense attorney at the law offices of Spar, Bernstein, and he can be reached at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Call him right now, 1-800-529-5465.
For all criminal defense cases
in New Jersey
and New Jersey.
And New York.
1-800-529-5465. And you should have that number saved in your phone.
Everyone should have it
because you never know when you're going to need a good lawyer. 1-800-529-5465 is the number for Spar and Bernstein. It's a number for Jake Hudnut. It's the number for Megan Buckwalter in our matrimonial department. It's a number for immigration. Save it in your phone. Use it. You need good lawyers. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465 is the number. Jake, fantastic job where a man was defending himself, looking at 10 years in jail.
Yep.
But, you know, Jake, you being a smart lawyer as he is, handled it. We're out of here.
I like that.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, Jake. All right. The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?